We'll tell them the story of Smooth Hound Smith.
Which version?
The more interesting version.
I don't know if we can tell you the more interesting version, but Zach and I met in LA playing music together, or playing music, and then we, I maybe you should answer this one. You do it in a much more concise way than I do.
We met in Los Angeles, and I was just about to move to Nashville, and then I did, and then she was like flirting with me, and then she came to visit, and then she brought her washboard on the plane, and she sat in with me, and then we thought it sounded good. So I moved back to LA for a year, and then we started it, and then we hit the road and ended up in Nashville.
And that was about 3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago, and now we tour about half the year.
Well, we're not sane to begin with, so
I don't think anybody who tours a whole lot really is. I know for me personally, I've amassed a pretty impressive catalog of iPhone notes that help for road stuff. We sleep in a lot of Walmarts in the van to save money. You know, you really only need 1 or 2 pairs of pants for like a 2-month tour, and that sounds gross, but it's really true. Legitimately. The first tour I brought like 5 pairs of pants. Didn't even wear 3 of them. So save room. 2 pairs of pants. 1.
Bonnaroo was amazing. It was just amazing. We would probably love to do it next year if they have us back. And it was just crazy to be playing, to start a band 3 years ago and then play at a huge festival is remarkable.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was by far the biggest festival we played to date, and man, it was just everything about it was just, we had no idea what to expect going in, and then we got there and everything just fell into place, and it was awesome. We played a great show and really excellent crowd response. And
we have an album out right now, a self-titled album. That's our first record, and then we have our second one that is going to be released very soon, and that's called Sweet Tennessee Honey. I don't know.
It's pretty difficult. We made the new album, Sweet Tennessee Honey. We made it this past winter, so we were kind of snowed in a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the rest of the country is laughing, but that was a lot of snow for Tennessee. And we wrote the songs really quickly and didn't do as much editing as we did with the first album, and got into the studio and kind of like made arrangements on the fly and recorded in a bunch of different places, including our living room. That's
when we ran out of money, was when we did it in our living room. But it ended up sounding amazing, the tracks from the living room.
Yeah, those are some of my favorites, I think.
Yeah. These Seismic audio monitors sound amazing, and I like that you have the controls so you can control it yourself on stage. It's amazing.
I've heard myself through no fewer than 12 to 1,400 monitors in my lifetime, and Seismic audio monitors are by far the best.
I agree.
Take that to the bank.
Influences. That's a question that I always hate. No offense. But, you know, it's always answered with, well, I listen to this person, this person, this person, this person. And I read a story about Joni Mitchell, and she was asked that question, and she said that as a true artist, you're not influenced by other true artists that are in the same field. Like, you're not necessarily influenced by other musicians. You're influenced by the world that's around you. And I think that that is my answer. It's just, you're influenced by everything. Take it away, Zach.
I'm influenced by artists. I know, I can remember the first time I heard somebody play fingerstyle guitar, and I wanted to do that. I liked having the bass and the melody going at the same time. Mississippi John Hurt and Lightning Hopkins and all the, and apart from that, I liked the idea of being self-contained, and then you and I got together, and it was like, we're a band, but we're only 2 people.
Yeah. So
we can make more money, because that's really what it's all about.
We just kind of started playing together, and it felt really good, and we thought, let's give it a shot. We're in our 30s, and we're not young bucks.
Speak for yourself.
We're not young bucks. You're in your 30s,
I know,
too.
I am in my 30s.
So we thought, if we're going to do it, let's just do it 100%. And that's why we bought the van, put the bed in the van, and took the show on the road.